Fortnite just had one of its biggest live events ever. The OG season was coming to an end, and to usher in the next chapter of Fortnite, they announced the Big Bang, and hype was intense. In the past, Fortnite events have had some crazy numbers, and based on the hype online, this one would be no exception. On the day of the event, there were 11 million players in the Big Bang event playlist, with millions more in queue, and a bunch more watching the event online. I'm not really here to talk about the content of the event itself, I think it was fine, but I want to talk about the format of the event and what I think it really was. My main problem with the Big Bang event is that there is very little that separates that in-game event from us just being manipulated into watching an 11-minute advertisement. Let me explain. The whole appeal around the Big Bang is that it was a live event. It was in-game. You guys have to be there if you want to experience Fortnite history. But I want to point out that the interaction that you, the player, had during this event was minimal. There's some commentary about that to come, but just so you know what I'm talking about, let's go through those interactions first. The first thing that comes to mind is the racing section. I want to quickly interject that I was among the many players who couldn't make it to the event live, so I was watching a streamer. I didn't make it to the event because my duo was taking a dump and I was waiting for him to get back, and by the time he did get back, the event already started and you couldn't join the event after it started. I missed the Big Bang event because my friend was taking a dump. Let's just say he's an ex-friend now. When I watched this racing section, I thought it looked like a neat little racing game, cool. But when I attended one of the later showings of the event, I learned that you did not control the car in the racing section. There were like 3 times it prompted you to click shift to boost or press the spacebar to go on the ceiling, but you didn't actually control the car any more than that. For what could have been an extremely interactive part of the event, you only clicked a few buttons. The next thing that comes to mind for interaction during this event was the rock band part. It was like 30 seconds max of very simple rock band gameplay. Out of all the interaction in this event, this is the most we got, and maybe I'm being a pessimist here, but it was just not that engaging. I could have made this on Scratch. Not to mention, for me, the audio was not at all synced with the notes. I know there was the audio-video sync when you first joined the event, but that evidently did not work for me. So, yet another example of player engagement being barely there in the first place, and just not that engaging. The only other thing I can think of where the player interacted with the event was your actual point of view. Technically, for most of the event, you were free to look in different directions, but it was clear that this wasn't really what Epic wanted you to do. From the moment the event started until the end, if you were in free look, the game literally prompted you with a focus command, which basically just took control of where you were looking. It seems here that Epic explicitly did not want you to interact and look around, but instead just focus on the main attractions. You can disagree with me here, but if you're someone who actually attended the live event and you've watched it, you could probably agree that those two experiences are nearly identical. So, given that the main player-controlled parts of this live event were minimal and just not that engaging, why was it a live event? Why not just release the event as a video? Well, I think the answer is that in order to get the maximum number of eyes on the event, Epic manipulated us with basically FOMO. A large part of the marketing around this event is that it would be the biggest in-game event ever. You have to be there if you want to experience Fortnite history. But in reality, all this event was just showcasing future content. We didn't see any catastrophic map changes like we have in the past. We didn't see any lore-relevant characters. All we saw was a general showcase of the new Fortnite modes, sprinkled with a few disappointing minigames. And I want to call this out, and I guess this is the main message of the video. The main hype was for the event, not from it. I don't think there is anyone who, after playing the Rock Band section, became emotionally invested and hyped about when that would come to the game. However, I do know that there were literally millions of people who got emotionally invested in just joining the event in the first place. I think that this event was basically just a hyped up advertisement, and I think that's a problem. The same principle is true about the recent GTA 6 trailer. Again, I don't want to talk too much about the content of the trailer. I think this one was solid. But I don't think anyone got done watching the GTA trailer and became excited or newly interested in the game. Instead, I think the main buzz was around the fact that there just was a trailer to watch. The tweet that just announced the trailer is the most liked gaming tweet of all time. Again, the hype here is for the trailer, not from it. I do quickly want to say maybe GTA is different just because it's been so long since we've heard anything official and there's just such a legacy around GTA, but I do think my main message still stands. And I think this goes to show how non-gamer friendly the gaming industry has become. I remember in the past being so hyped about new Halo releases, the actual games, because of what was shown in the trailers. But now, I feel like the GTA release and the Fortnite event especially are examples of how we're now expected to be hyped about the trailer itself, about the release of an advertisement. It feels like these big companies are generously throwing us a bone with their trailers and using them as content. Whereas in reality, I think it should be up to them to make an advertisement that genuinely makes us excited and interested in the actual release of the game. Maybe I'm looking too far into this, I genuinely can't tell if I'm overreacting, so let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you'd like, but more importantly, actually let me know in the comments. I am kind of curious. Thank you for watching.
Oh, I think I'm icing. Told 100,000, even on the sex and white street.